Hi guys, it's Jeff at Slavens Racing. I'm here in the Rocky Mountains near my home on one of my favorite trails. And of course, I'm very protective of this trail as well as all the rest of them in Colorado. So I just want to ask you some favors here to take care of our trails. But before we go down that road, let's talk about some of the basics here, what you need in Colorado to trail ride. You need a permit on your fork leg up here. You can buy those at the dealers out here. You can also buy them online. I've got mine rotated right now so you can't see the numbers, but anyhow, you need an OHV permit. You also need to have a spark arrestor. Spark arrestors are mandatory out here, and we have a lot of dry conditions. Although I'm not totally sold on spark arrestors. I really don't believe that we have a problem with motorcycles starting the forest on fire, but it is the law, so it's about a $150 fine if you don't have one. And for that fine fee, you can almost buy a whole new muffler. So anyhow, those are the two basics you got to have, the muffler and the permit. From there, you just need to stay on the trail and not tear up the trail. So if you're above your skill level and you're getting stuck everywhere and digging trenches on our trail, then maybe you should consider turning around and developing your skills on a little bit easier trail to where you don't do damage to our trails. It really messes up the trail system when every little obstacle has a big dugout area in front of it. It just makes it harder and harder and harder for all the riders, especially the lower level guys. So, don't constantly spin your tire. Get a good gummy rear tire that's got a lot of traction and run it at a low pressure. Recluse clutches help a lot with traction as well. There's an organization that you might want to donate to in this state. It's called Stay the Trail. And Stay the Trail means just that, stay on the trail. Don't cut the switchbacks. Don't run off the trail and make a new route. Don't, at every mud hole, don't do what's called braiding, and that's making 10 different routes around a mud hole. And then if you do run off the trail, and you make a big trench, stop and lay your bike over and go back and fix the trench that you just made. I mean, do everything that you can to be a good ambassador for our trails. And so there's the next thing is when you run, you're going to run into people, other users on the trail, and they have every right to be here that you do. So there's no need to give them attitude. There's no need for them to give you attitude. But if somebody does give you some attitude, stop and try to diffuse that situation. And if that doesn't work, well, then do what you got to do. Some of these people are just very unreasonable and don't want to hear any other solutions. So I have no problem with ripping those people a new one. But try to be kind at first. And when it comes to other trail users, especially people with dogs and little kids, this particular trail, people hike up here with little kids and dogs. And if you see that, you come across that, well, then stop your bike, let them walk past you, talk to them, just ask them if their dog's okay. Even offer them water if the dog looks like it's distressed. But just do what you can to be a good ambassador for our trails. And that's going to go a long ways in keeping the trails open. It's a constant battle, and we've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars trying to keep these trails open. So please help us with that. And by not damaging the trails and by not having a loud motorcycle. That's probably the biggest complaint the Forest Service gets is loud motorcycles. So if you've got a bike with a big hole in the exhaust, well, then fix it before you come out here. Put in a quieter insert or a different muffler. The fine for, well, actually, there is no fine for noise, but if you don't have a spark arrestor, you're going to get a ticket for that, or you could, and that's about $150. So basically, just try to be a kind person. Everybody deserves to use these trails because it is a multi-use trail. Everybody pays taxes. And riders going uphill have the right of way, but a lot of people don't seem to notice that. On this particular trail, you got to be careful for mountain bikers. They seem to think they own it and they like to haul ass down it. So you got to be careful about that in this particular area. But in a lot of places in Colorado, that's not an issue. But whatever you can do, guys, to help our trails, join Stay the Trail, join CoveCo, which is the organization here in Colorado, or the TPA, Trail Preservation Alliance. All those organizations work hard to keep our trails open. So I hope to see you out on the trail, and I hope to see you taking care of it. And please use the appropriate bike and tires and everything to where you're not constantly tearing up the trail, digging trenches, that type of thing. All right. So I think that's about all for now. Hope to see you out on the trail. Please like us on Instagram and Facebook and subscribe to us on YouTube and get out for some saddle therapy. That's all for now.